guys, what's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Wip Chat. If you're new to diamond painting, Wip stands for work in progress. We're not gonna somebody. We are diamond painting here, folks. We're crafting. Get your dirty bird minds out the gutter. Okay, I'm done with that. Yeah. So, where are my manners? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. My week's been it's a lot better than last week. Also, just a small plug. I am an affiliate with Treasure Studios Art. If you use the code Naomi15, you can save yourself, I think it's like 15% off of any order off of $40. And I mean, come on, who doesn't like saving money? I'm all about a deal, all right? I also have Buy Me a Coffee and Buy Me a Ko-fi. If you contribute, if you donate to that, I take that money and I put it back into the channel or whatever you put that you want me to put it to. You do not have to, please don't feel obligated. So, all right, before we get started, I'll be using my Munimade tray. I love this tray. I have my Chroma diamond art pen. Like I love their pens. I have a lot of them. I am also using the Heart of the Ocean Coverminder that I got from Shine Shop Designs over on Etsy. I'm not sure if she has any more of these. You know what I mean? There's only so many times I can make that guy go down to the ocean and bring it back up. I'm sorry, guys, but I will make sure to have her Etsy shop linked down below, so you can check out what other awesome cover minders she has. So I also, before I get started, I do have it's not a cold. I don't honestly, I don't know what it is. It has nothing to do with, the personal pan pizza that's been happening, the last couple of years. I woke up yesterday and I felt like my throat was on fire. I was like, what the good gravy? And I was tired. I slept a lot yesterday. So if my voice kind of goes in and out, I do apologize. I have some hot tea over here, and there's a little funny story about that. So before I started the video, I was like, oh, let me make some tea, so my voice doesn't, keep going in and out. So if you hear me, slurping, I apologize. I couldn't put the, I opened it. I couldn't put the straw in there. So before I came upstairs to my craft room, I was like, let me make some tea, you know what I mean? So I, do all that. And I got this cup off of Mrs. Coffee's Etsy store. I'm not sure if she has her store open or not right now, but I'll link her Etsy shop down in the description box as well. But it also comes with a straw. And I'm big about, I can't stand, people slurping their drinks or smacking their lips when they eat. It aggravates me so deep down in my soul. I turn into, a raging animal. It's just something comes over me, and I don't know what it is. I can't control myself. I'm like, rah. So I put the straw in it, right? So I don't make any slurping sounds. I take a sip of it. I burned my freaking mouth. I recommend do not drink something hot with a straw, especially right after. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that hurt. So, all right, before I, really get started, start telling you about my week, let me quick take a sip. Okay. Much better. Ooh. So yeah, so from time to time, I might cough. Like I said, I took a test Nothing to do with the personal pan pizza, you know, with like cilantro on top. Is it cilantro? I don't know. What begins with a C that goes, you know, on a topping on a pizza? Put that down in the description box, or the description box. Good gravy. Put that down in the comment section below. But yeah, okay. Let's get started. All right, pull that off. Turn the light pad on. And what color are we gonna start with? I think R. So let's see. So as you guys know, I've been having issues with my car, and you guys are, I can't even put into words. Like, I don't feel like thank you is enough. You guys are amazing, amazing. But we will get into that. So, where was I? Where was I? Come on, brain. Come back to me. I need you, little buddy. Oh, maybe it would help if I read my notes, right? That's why you took them, Naomi. So last Thursday, because I always record my whipping chats on Wednesday. So it's Wednesday for me when I record it. It's Thursday for you guys when you're watching it. Also, my bad. My freaking bad. Let me tell you what I'm working on. I'm working on Flower Girl by Diamond Dotz at home. I'm like really liking it. It's I'm about halfway done. It's got like a nice little mix of like confetti but color blocking. There are some sections that are a little more confetti and more that are color blocking. So I mean, I can live with it. But all right, getting back to last week. Okay, back to Thursday. So as you guys know, about a week ago, I was driving my car, you know, and it decided to, you know, sound like a submarine coming up out of the water, and, you know, the hybrid low thing. So I had to get it towed. And that happened on Wednesday. So on Thursday, the dealership, because I got it towed there on Wednesday, and it was like early Wednesday morning, you know, maybe afternoon, you know, like at the worst, like noon by the time the tow truck driver got it to the dealership. So they didn't get a chance to look at it last Wednesday. They, you know, I called, and because the guy also said, well, I called on Wednesday, and I might have said this last week, but I wound up calling like Wednesday, like afternoon, like later afternoon, because the assistant manager said that, you know, he was going to give me a call once my car got there. And when I called, he did say that, you know, he did try calling and it went to voicemail. I think I might have said this, but, you know, if you're new to the channel, hey, welcome to my my crazy world. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so my son had run me to Walmart because I had to grab a few things. And he said it went right to my voicemail. So, but he was like, you know, we didn't get a chance to look at it today. We're going to start looking at it tomorrow. So, I wound up calling, you know, on Thursday just to kind of see, you know, like what's going on. And they had just started looking at it, and said that they would, you know, call me later on Thursday, and they never did, those dirty birds. But I mean, it is what it is. It's not like after what happened that day in my car, like I don't feel safe driving it. So, I mean, if it wasn't at the dealership, it would just be parked in my parking spot where I live, because I wouldn't, and now, like, I'm not even driving it around the block. Nope. So then what happened? Then I also figured out, like, last week, me and technology were not friends. It started off Monday morning with QuickBooks, you know, then I went to the bank and the bank teller's computer was giving her problems. I was like, yep, that's me. Then, you know, technology crap goes wrong with my car on Monday. And then Thursday night, I'm in Jenny's live, and she was talking about Ruby Q's Etsy store, you know, how she's like selling these earrings that she's making. They're really freaking cool, guys. If I remember, I will link Ruby Q's Etsy store as well down in the description box. All right, I should maybe make a note of this. Shine, Miss Coffee, and Ruby. Okay, I think I got it. And I'm a mod on Jenny's channel, and Jenny asked, you know, if somebody could, you know, link Ruby Q's Etsy store. So I quick jump out of the chat and I go on to Etsy to try and, you know, just get Ruby's store to post it. And I'm signed out of Etsy, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, like, what the hell is my password for that? So I'm trying to figure out my password. I get that figured out. I get in there, like, I go and I copy the link. I jump back into Jenny's chat, you know, I refresh her video, and I go, you know, and I type in Ruby's store name, and I hit paste, and the damn thing's not, like, copying. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe, you know, the first time I didn't, like, I was too fast and it didn't copy. So I go back into Etsy, I copy it again, and I make sure, you know what I mean, that, like, I hit copy link, all that good gravy. Go back into Jenny's live, try it again. Nope. So that's when I realized that technology was just, like, out to make my life miserable last week. Like, it did not like me. What is that? That is I wonder if it would help if I turn this off. No, I'm going blind. But yeah, so that was Thursday. So then Friday I call, you know, I called the dealership because they never called me yesterday, you know, and I'm like getting worried because I'm like, oh crap, you know, like they didn't call me. This is gonna be bad, you know, like, because, you know, the longer you don't hear from the mechanic, you know, your brain starts racing, and, you know, and you're thinking like, yep, okay, this is now like a glorified paperweight. I wonder if I can, like, try to get my money's worth and turn that car into, like, a Coverminder. Like, that would work. Just pop, put my car, it'd probably break my desk. But, you know, you use the car as a Coverminder. At least that'd be one expensive Coverminder every month to freaking pay. But, you know, hey, let me make it into something. So I call, and I was like, you know, hey, you know, and the assistant manager, like, I don't think I called. I think on Thursday, he texted me, you know, saying, I got a text saying, you know, who he was, and that, you know, the car was, you know, starting to be looked at, blah, blah, blah. So I think I texted him on Friday, and he replied back with that the mechanic was working on the estimate. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's a little scary, but oh, okay. And it was, I know that was like earlier in the morning. And then what happened? And then it was like kind of like more towards like the end of when I would get done work. I finally heard back. And I knew that, you know, from talking with Ruby earlier in the week, that she was going to, you know, do like a fundraiser type of thing, or a charity event on her live, which, again, you know what I mean? Everybody, your kind words, your donations, like, it blew me out of the water. It blew me out of the freaking water. So, and like, I was getting worried that like I wasn't going to hear back from the dealership, because I was like, look, I want to tell Ruby, you know what I mean, like, what's all wrong with my car, how much it's going to cost to fix, you know what I mean? That way, you know what I mean, like, she wasn't just going on there on Friday and being like, okay. So, but, you know, without hearing back from the dealership, I was like, crap, how is this going to work? So finally, you know, like, he calls me back and he tells me everything, and I'm like, okay, bear with me, I'm trying to write all this down. And like, I wasn't sure if enough would be raised that was needed to fix my car. So my boss calls me towards the end of the day, and like, I asked him and I explained to him, I was like, you know, look, this is what, you know, Ruby's doing. And then there's another creator that reached out to me and said she was going to do something. I don't want to put it out there yet, because I don't know if she's made the video about it or not. I haven't seen it. So like, I asked my boss, I was like, hey, you know, can I borrow, you know what I mean, like $16,000 or $1,600? You know, and this is what's going on. She's going to ask, you know, to donate this, but I won't have the money for the week, you know, just trying to like speed up the process of trying to get my car fixed, instead of having to wait for, you know, a week for the money to hit. And then, you know, like with Ruby's, that money on the YouTube channel, I don't think it's gonna like hit her account until like the end of April, because I think she said it's like the 22nd, and it was already past March 22nd. So I'm like, okay, you know, and I told him, I was like, I'll, you know what I mean, as soon as the money hits, like, I'll put it back in the business's account, you know what I mean, and whatever, you know, the difference is, you know, we'll just take so much out of my check a week. And at first, you know what I mean, at first he seemed fine about it, and then he was like, well, you know, what's the you know, what does QuickBooks say? Because he knows, looking into like the actual bank account, that's not the real number. There's like checks that haven't come out yet, you know, blah, 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 blah. So really, QuickBooks is the number, you know, what QuickBooks says is the accurate number. So I tell him, and I mean, he went from like Mr. Nice Guy to like Mr. A-hole, like basically accusing me and like wanting to know where $25,000 went. And he wanted the report printed out right away and send it over to him, like basically accusing me of stealing $25,000 fucking dollars. Excuse my language, but like, you can sit there, you can say I can be mean, I can be nasty, I have harsh words, like I'm not perfect, all right? But the one thing you can't say, I'm not a freaking liar and I'm not a thief, right? So like, call me those two things and whoo, like I get no. So I'm like, sure, no problem, because I have nothing to hide, you know what I mean? So I go and I print out the report. He wanted it for 2 weeks, and it shows like everything that's like been paid out that came in. I scan it over to him, and it was about like 20 minutes later, and I mean, I was fuming at this point. I was like, oh, like you're gonna meet Petty Patty, like you just made the pettiness come out of me, because I'm like, I don't ask for gas money. You know, when I use my own vehicle to run to the bank to deposit checks on Monday and Friday, and any other time a check comes in, I use, you know, my own gas. Like, I don't get paid gas or mileage or anything like that, you know, for running around using my own personal vehicle. I'm like, I don't get no wear and tear on my freaking, you know, for my car. I'm like, I'm using part of my electric, you know, to run this, part of my internet. I mean, like, when I say, like, oh, like, come Monday, come payday, I was going to be like, we're gonna retro pay the last 3 years, mofo. Like, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. We'll hear about, 20 minutes, half an hour later, he calls and he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I realize, he's like, I still have this $25,000 check in my truck that I haven't deposited yet. And he had added that number, into what he, so, and I was like, like, I was not all like happy with him. It was not all rainbows and butterflies, I was just like, okay. Like, I'm glad you at least called to apologize, like, because I'm not a thief. I'm not a thief. I'm not a liar. I will tell you what I think, you know what I mean? Some people can't handle the truth. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think the only way you're going to get me to lie is, like, if it's, like, a surprise. You know what I mean? Like, it would be, like, an innocent lie type of thing. Like a surprise party, or you're trying to, like, surprise, something like that. Like somebody's coming home and you don't want the person to know, and it's a, something like that. That's probably about as closest as, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get me to lie. Other than that, nope. I will give it to you straight and honest, and I don't care if I hurt your feelings. Like, I'm bluntly honest, and that's just who I am. I can't help it. It's how my mama raised me. Blame her. So, but yeah, and then, let me see, sorry, Friday I have like a whole bunch of notes that, like, you're kind of like trying to fit it onto Friday. It's like almost packed together, so I'm trying to read it. And then, yeah, so Friday's not, Friday, spit it out, cupcake. So in Friday's live, let's try that one more time. So on Friday in Ruby's live, there we go. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Oh my God. Like, I know I've said it before, but like, you guys are amazing. Like, between like your words, the donations, all of that. Like, I mean, I've seen what this diamond painting community, you know what I mean? Like, when somebody is in need or in help, how this diamond painting community will, like, rally together to help somebody out. Like, wow. Like, usually I'm like the one on the other end, you know what I mean? Like, helping somebody else out. And I honestly never thought I would be, in the position that I'm in right now. And I would have been fine, but having to pay, $2,000 that I'm still paying off, excuse me, to the dentist, and then having my car go, and that being, close to like $2,000. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this out of my butt. And I was like in a dark space, and you guys came and you strapped on your diamond painting capes, came running with your light pads, to find me in the dark and, help bring me to the light. And honestly, like, I can't thank you guys enough. Like, Friday night, I was trying to find that damn man that was cutting them freaking onions. Like, I was in tears. I was like, I'm like, I'm speechless. You know what I mean? Like, somebody mark that on a calendar. The Savage is speechless. You guys, you left me absolutely speechless. So I go to bed on Saturday night. Good gravy. Get your days right, Naomi. I go to bed on, Friday night, more really Saturday morning. And on Saturday, I woke up and Ruby had texted me, and she was like, how did you do? Da, 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 da. So I go and I check my, Ko-fi, and you guys helped me raise $1,030 on Ko-fi. I was, when I say like a huge, like, it almost felt like a boulder was lifted off my shoulders. Like, I felt like I could breathe. Like, where before Friday night, like, I was struggling. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, how is the, yeah. So again, thank you guys. Like, you guys are absolutely amazing. And then later on in the afternoon, I was like, crap, I need something. And my oldest son, Seamus, he has been nice enough, that like when I needed to like run to the bank, or last Wednesday, he ran me to Walmart to grab a couple of things. I didn't want to call him up and be like, hey, can you run me here? You know what I mean? Because he's, honestly, since I've not had my car, he has been so helpful. You know what I mean? Like, he'll come and pick me up on Monday to go deposit, checks, and then we go to the bank further away where the Walmart's in the same parking lot. And my boss is being cool about this because he knows I don't have a car and I can only get a ride when I can get a ride. After I deposit the checks, I quick run to Walmart and, just grab, a couple of things, to at least get me through until Friday. So, my son comes and, does that for me. So I didn't want to call him because I was like, look, I'm like, he ran you on Wednesday, he ran you Friday, you just asked him to run you, yesterday. So I was like, oh, well, Jeremiah, he drives. Let's call him. Now, Jeremiah is my youngest son. He's had his license maybe 3 months, 4 at the absolute max. I think it's been around like the 3-month mark. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just walked. So he comes and he picks me up. I met his girlfriend, and I mean, she seems nice. Like, she didn't say anything to me. Like, she didn't even say hello to me. And that kind of irritated me, because I was like, if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be here right now. You could at least acknowledge me and say hi. But she did get out of the front seat and go into the back seat. So, I mean, I guess, she has some type of manners. Could also be, that I intimidated her, because I've been told I intimidate people. I'm like, I don't know how. Hold on, you're gonna see my big fat head. I'm like, I don't know how. I'm like, I'm genuinely a nice person. I'm like, and believe me, like, most of the time, you have to do a lot for me to, like, open my mouth and go off. Like, more, you have to do more than the average bear, because as I've gotten older, I try to walk away from it before I just open my mouth. When I was younger, that was not the case at all. Like, at all. So yeah, as I've gotten older and wiser, you know, when things like irritate me or upset me, you know, as long as it's nothing to do with like a young kid, an animal, like the elderly, you know, I try to keep my mouth shut and calm down before I open it. Because yeah, I can be like, I even know, I'm like, like afterwards, you know, like when that happens and afterwards, I'm like, geez, Naomi, like, you could have said that in a nicer way. And I'm like, yeah, like everything you said was true, but you could have phrased it in a nicer way. And yeah, then I have to, you know, go back and apologize and be like, you know, I'm sorry I called you a lazy, you know, butt potato. You know, that's not what I called him, but you get it. Yeah, so where was I going about this? I got sidetracked about, you know, my youngest son's girlfriend's, you know, manners. Anyhow, yeah, never, ever, ever again will I ask him for a ride somewhere. Oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus. It was like a 2-minute drive to, you know, from my house to the 7-Eleven. Just going there, I think I saw my life flash before my eyes, like two times, because, you know, yeah, like I told him to make a right, he made a left, you know, pulled out in front of people. Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. Yes, that's what I did. Then, you know, the 7-Eleven, like again, the turning lane to get there is on this side. So he's over on this lane, then he goes over to this lane, then he goes over to this lane, and we're coming up to the turning lane. So he quick shoots over to the turning lane. I'm over here like, oh, I think I'm gonna need an ambulance. I'm having heart palpitations, the whole 9 freaking yards, right? So we pull up to the 7-Eleven. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I tucked and rolled out of that bee. Like, whoo, I think I felt safer, you know, rolling out of a moving vehicle than, you know, being in the car any longer. No, I'm joking. I waited for him to at least stop. But yeah, no, I think I definitely, like, hopped out of that car like it was on fire. Ran into the 7-Eleven. I got what I needed. And as I'm standing in line, you know, I'm preparing myself again, like, okay, you got to get back in the car and take, you know, like that 2-3 minute drive home. And I'm like, oh, of everything that's holy, all of my guardian angels, like, call up your friends, like, we're gonna need an army here, like, I just need to make it home. When I say I think my guardian angel, like, sent out messages, you know, like, I don't know, there's like a kegger that he was throwing, like, you know, you have to be there, you know, within like 5 minutes or you're not getting in for free. I think that's what happened, because so we're going to leave the 7-Eleven, and the way like when you go to leave it, the way the road's set up, you have like 2 lanes over here, then there's like a median, and then there's 2 lanes over there. So you can't like make a left-hand turn. So you have to make a right. But there's also like a 4-way stop, you know, sign. So, and it's hard. You kind of got to pull out a little bit, you know, to see the cars coming. So, you know, he's doing good, and I'm like, okay. The guardian angels, they got their peoples together. Like, just breathe. So I see this van coming, and it's coming. What does my son decide to do? He's gonna pull out. I think I shit my pants. Excuse my language, but so, I mean, like, something released. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it was like my heart dropping out my butthole and then coming back up again. I don't know how this van missed us again. I don't know, but like I said, I think them guardian angels, like my guardian angel sent out, a massive text saying, hey, free kegger for the first, everybody who shows up within, the first 5 minutes. I don't know, but thank God. So I got home. I think I was ever so grateful to have my 2 feet on the ground. Yeah. I started, I'm sticking my hand in my drills. Good gravy. I'm a hot mess express over here. I started this diamond painting on Saturday. I need to get something to drink. Hold on. Okay. So it was like Saturday I was in Jeremy's live, and I realized, because there for a while, like, I had recorded so many videos and had them scheduled out for like almost like a month and a half. Like, I think the last unboxing diamond painting video that just went up, maybe like, I think the last one was 3 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago at this point. Like, I had recorded that those were like the Black Friday diamond paintings that I had gotten in from a DAC for their Black Friday sale, and I think I got them in like the beginning of January. So I recorded them and I had them all scheduled for a Sunday. So for so long, like, I've already had, videos recorded where all I had to do was just sit down and do my Whip Chat video every week. And it was, so it was like Saturday night going into Sunday morning. And I always try to have a video up on Sundays, a video up on Tuesday, and then my Whip Chat up on Thursday. So it was like, I'm in Jeremy's live, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I never recorded a video. Oh, crap. So I'm quick, trying to think of like what I can do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta, like, and when I say edit, like, I don't edit my videos. Like, once I hit record, what happens, what you see is what you get. It's as real as it can be. What I mean by edit is, like, I also have to go in and make the intro video. I already have the outro video, and I gotta save that. Then I have to go and put the intro video, the video, and my outro video, like, put them together, save that, and then upload it over on YouTube. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So yes, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't even do it in my craft room, because the bed in my craft room is just covered with a bunch of stuff that I need to clear off, because my mama's coming to stay with me this weekend. So I was like, oh, I'll do a post review of Crystal Canvas Arts, of the Sexy Merman. I finished him. I'm like, I got to do that. I was planning on doing it anyway. So, I quick grabbed the canvas. I grab, one of my tripods. I set the tripod up on my bed. And then I think I remembered that, I was like, I wanted to show the drills, and so I had to quick run back downstairs and grab the drills, and I come back upstairs, and I walk in my bedroom door, and I'm like, and I didn't have the painting like laid out on my bed yet, but the way like the tripod was like set up, and here's my bed, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, if somebody were to walk into my room right now and not know that, like, I have a YouTube channel where I do crafting stuff on, I'm like, they're gonna think, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing like OnlyFans over here. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I have too much class for that. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody, you know what I mean? Hey, anybody out there that's doing it, you do what you gotta do. I'm not knocking, it's just not for me. not my cup of tea. So, yeah. Yeah, so I quickly, you know, I took a picture of that and I posted it on Instagram because I was like, you know, somebody's going to get, you know, a kick out of this. But yeah, that was my first thought, because honestly, like, if I walked into somebody's room and I saw like a tripod set up next to their bed, I'd be like, oh, you're nasty. Putting your cookies all out there for the world to see. Like, yeah. Yep. That's automatically where my brain went. I mean, and yeah. So, and then basically the rest of the day, Sunday, like I just kind of like relaxed and diamond painted. Because like I said, I finally felt like a big, you know, like boulder was lifted off of my shoulders. And yeah, I just diamond painted and watched some lives, and I'm still binge watching my 600-pound life. You know, I'm not watching it as much as I used to because basically almost every Monday through Friday, I mean, sometimes I try to, depending on the day, I try to be there for the whole stream. But sometimes people go live like right as he's starting on YouTube, or like somewhat into his stream. But I really like, I've been watching Brooklyn Kaiju on Twitch here, and he streams Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. And I like watching his art, you know, like what I'm actually like watching what's going on the screen, because sometimes I just turn it on and I'll do my own thing over here. But his streams are, you never know what's gonna happen. It is freaking, it's fun over there. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I've been watching, you know, either that, you know, like YouTube, and my 600-pound life. I think I'm on season 7. Yeah, I don't know why I'm like stuck on it, you know, but I like watching it, and I find myself like, as I'm watching it, like you can tell the people that are like, they're trying, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, and they'll have like their ups and their downs, you know, like, and when like they lose weight, like I'm yelling at the TV, I'm like, you go girl, you go, you know what I mean? And then like there's times, you know, like they might have a rough month or something, like where they don't lose enough, and I'm over there, you know, like tearing up. That, I mean, that, let me tell you, when I find that man that's cutting onions around me, like he's in for it. You know, and I find myself tearing up, you know, like telling them, you know, talking to the TV. Now, they can't hear me, but, you know, apparently in my head, they're going to hear me, you know, like telling them, like, don't give up. You did good. It was just a bad month. You know what I mean? Just get back up on that horse and try again. Like, and then, you know, sometimes I catch myself doing it, and I'm like, Naomi, they can't hear you. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, my neighbors probably think I'm some like wackadoo, like that, or like they probably think I'm talking to Roscoe, and they're like, my gosh, this girl's over here is crazy. Like, do you hear her? Like, do you hear how she talks to her dog, saying, don't give up, like, you got this, I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But hold on, as I'm switching colors here, because I don't think this one's in here. Last night, which was Monday, or no, oh my gosh, my brain, I'm telling you guys. So on last night, you know, I'm diamond painting, watching Brooklyn Kaiju's live stream on Twitch, and I come across, you know, this symbol. I don't know if you can see it, you know, and as you guys know, you know, we all like to, you know, name the symbols. Some of the symbols have names. Well, this one was always the pregnant symbol. Up until last night, I have now started calling this the Brooklyn Caillou symbol because of all the diamond painters he has knocked up over the last 2 weeks over on Twitch when he reads his 50 Shades of Jay. So yeah, I thought that was hysterical, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So then, let's see. Monday I get up, you know, I go to work. Like, if you want to get paid, get your butt up. So I get up, and at one point, my one cousin called me from Pennsylvania, and I mean, I don't know what I ever did to him, and at, you know, one point I even asked him that. Like, I was like, did I do something to you? Because the way he treats me, like, he's nasty. So I'm not really a fan of talking to him too much. And the only time he calls me is when he needs something. So I saw that he had called, and I pick up the phone and I call him back. And here, like, he had called me last week about he was overnighting some paperwork that my uncle had to sign, you know, for this closing. So I was like, okay, you know, and I told him, I think it was like Wednesday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday last week. Like, I told him, I was like, I don't have a car, you know what I mean? Like, I'm at the mercy of, you know, people, you know, taking me places. So I'm like, I'm not going to be much help to you on making sure this gets done. So, you know, I call him back, and I was like, you know, I'm like, I told you I don't have a car. And he's like, well, he's like, call somebody and tell them, you know, to go over there and drop it off to you. Like, that's how he is. He acts like he's like the freaking, you know, like king freaking dingling, and the world owes him something, and he's entitled to it. And I can't. The world doesn't owe you anything. Like, no. So anyway, you know, so I text my son, and I'm like, hey, can you, you know, ask about this, da-da-da-da. And here, like, my uncle had already sent it out. So I called my cousin back, and I'm like, look, I can't scan it because he said it was already sent out. And he was like, okay, thanks, you know, and he just hangs up. And I'm like, yep, I won't hear from you, you know, until there's like another closing. I just, like I said, it's blah. But then, also my oldest son, you know, he came and ran me to the bank, and I was getting irritated on Monday because, like, when my oldest son, when Seamus could come, you know, and pick me up to take me to the bank, it was like usually later than what I normally go to the bank. You know, I try to get to the bank between a certain time, and I guess, you know, the guys have gotten used to that. So, you know, when that time had passed, you know what I mean? Like, I got phone calls, you know what I mean? Like, when are you going to the bank? Now, they all know I don't have a car. You know what I mean? Like, they are all aware that I do not have my car right now. You know, I'm waiting for it to get fixed. As soon as it's fixed, I will have a car. But until then, like, I am at the mercy of when, you know, somebody is able to do it. And my son wasn't able to get here on Monday, you know, until like almost like 12:30, closer to 1 o'clock, where I usually try to go to the bank between like 11 and 11:30. That way, like, I miss like people on their lunch break going in. You know what I mean? So when their money wasn't there, you know, like, they start calling, like, and I was getting irritated because I'm like, you know, like, I don't have to deposit your check, you know what I mean? Just because I'm going to the same bank that you bank at, to deposit my check doesn't mean I have to deposit yours. And yeah, like, I think the one guy, I told him, I was like, you know what, like, when I get there, I will get there. You know, like, if you want it faster, you can drive down here and come get it and deposit it yourself. Like, oh my gosh, self-entitled people. I just want to smack them upside their freaking noggin. But anyhow, that's something totally different. Let me see what else. And then, so Monday night, well, one, like, I had, my one best friend in Pennsylvania, she is a car saleswoman. And I mean, she knows her cars. Like, even before she started working there, you know, like, she was like a car person. So I had called her up, you know, but she was, you know, she had, you know, things going on. When I found out what all was wrong with my car, and I was like, all right, let me pick her brain, you know, see what she thinks I should do. Should I, you know, fix it? Should I trade it in? Should I fix it then trade it in? Should I just keep it? Like, what they're saying is wrong with it? Should I blah blah blah? So she calls me back on Monday night, and I talked to her, and she's the one who also, like, when I get like angry at the world and all that, like, I'll call her up and I'll be like, look, this mother effer, and she's like, okay, let's woosah your butt down a couple notches and bring you back to reality before you go do something, or I have to come up with bail money to get your butt out of jail. Like, she's I love her. She is absolutely awesome. I miss her and my other best friend. They're the same, but they're like yin and yang, where the one loves hard, the other one doesn't. Like I said, they both have like the same personalities, but there's just, you know, little things that I appreciate, you know, both about them. But yeah. And then yesterday was Tuesday, and I woke up, and I mean, I felt like my throat was on like fire. Like, I was like, what the hell? And I was so tired, like so tired. And I was like, so I texted my boss, and I was like, look, I'm gonna take a sick day. Like, I don't feel good. And I basically, for the most part, like, I slept a lot of yesterday away. Like, and then, like, today I wound up calling out as well, because I'm still just, like, I'm tired. Like, I could sleep for, like, 5 hours, be up for, like, a half an hour to an hour, and then fall back asleep for, like, another 6 hours. I guess it's my body's way of being like, girl, go, like, rest yourself. So that is what I've been doing. But I've been jabbering on here for a little over 50 minutes now. So I'm going to get on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys.